helps also if you open the lens cover.
Sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
I know it is bad. It's got a wind control on it, but it's not going to be enough to do this. What's been going over here, Chris?
Not a whole lot. He's swinging really well right now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I heard the sound. I think that got to
He has a tendency for the arms to kind of lift a little bit on the takeaway, and just trying to get the left arm across the chest a little better, not quite so high at the top. Comes right back down on plane from there.
He's never far away from it, is he?
No, not anymore.
Amazing how we certainly got a swing from down the line from years back, but it makes a huge difference in terms of mechanics.
For me, I've got to feel like there's no interference on my face. So the arms are under my face, not
right. Oh yeah,
sometimes my arm will get up into my chin. That's when I get that shot I hit the other day, kind of steep. So when I just kind of start down waggle, just kind of under my face and get to the left side. Good.
Tell you what, that's solid. When that golf ball doesn't move in this kind of wind, well,
Knock him out. When it knocks the tripod over, it's blowing.
this is not normal for Atlanta in May. Hopefully it's all.
Normally you get this kind of wind, it feels more like a desert wind.
Yeah, like
This is March wind right here.
Palm Desert January a year ago, and man, it was really blowing out there. That classic club's out in the middle of a desert basin. There'll be a lot of guys out tomorrow. I'll have the camera running up and down the line. We'll spend some time with Brian Gay. He'll be coming in tomorrow afternoon. More for the practice team. Talk to us just a little bit about that waggle. It's more than just a hands address waggle, is it not?
Right. It's a total motion waggle. It's a start down waggle. It's a hinging waggle. It's all over top of the ball, and then once I'm comfortable, it'll be 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many. I've taken 4 before waggles, and I don't pull it until I get the rhythm that I want. So I'm using a waggle just to produce a rhythm.
When you say rhythm, how are you referring to that? Are you talking about your arms coordinated?
Isn't rhythm defined as the club head and the wrist and the shoulder all traveling at the same RPMs?
That's true.
Around the hinge pin, which should be about right there.
I think we've gone the same way.
Doesn't rhythm control hinging? Last I heard.
It does indeed.
How about that? So if you want to have a vertical hinge, an angled hinge, or a horizontal hinge, they have different speeds because of the rhythm.
Right. That's beautiful.
How about that?
I'm going to Home Depot.
We got to get a hinge out here.
There you go. See, so it's.
You want me to bring mine tomorrow?
Yeah, would you? So when I do that, what I'm trying to feel is, number 1, loading, start down, delivering, release, follow through, and really focusing right now on follow through.
Both arms straight position.
Yeah. So now I'm on the left side. I have a good hinge going. Now I go.
That's just great. Wow.
And that also takes the target, the stuff that's out there out of my head, because I've already lined up.
Pre-programmed.
That's like Homer Kelly used to say during all this pre-shot routine business. He said, "You are a very busy guy."
Yeah.
And you're checking alignments. You're not reciting "Mary Had a Little Lamb." I mean, you're checking things out.
So if I'm here and I've seen, okay, I've got my target, I'm done.
Yeah, there it is. You definitely feel when you're doing that. You definitely have a whole body waggle. You're pivoting, right?
Absolutely.
So from release through at the end of the follow through, is that pivot working there to help bring you through there?
Pivot's going to transport it.
Transport, power package, transport, power package being the two arms of the club, the loading, the lag, the pressure
That's why he can
point.
hit it as far as he does and be as little as he is.
But a giant among men.
All right, so okay, I won't say it because it's on TV. For those who know the blanket statement, it's been invoked.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's great there. Boy.
And also, one of the things I always focus on is once I go through the routine and pull the trigger, finish alignment.
Hold it. I didn't want to prejudice the thing, but I want you to just look at that beautiful left arm flying wedge and bent right wrist, and just a gorgeous relationship there held to the finish.
It comes back.
Oh, impact.
And if I go here, it's tough.
Yeah. That's just great.
All good stuff.
Years ago, the rap about the golfing machine was, well, if it's so good, then how come more good players don't use it? Well, or who's using it? I guess that was the thing. Well, guess what? They're coming, folks. And more and more guys like you, Jeff. I mean, you've always been a good player, but you've definitely taken your game to the next level. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but it's not nothing. Again, it's just
It's a system.
you got to control that.
Left face and foot hitting the shaft. Or any given line of compression through the golf ball, every machine produces identical impact lines. And you get there, everybody's art.
Yeah, but for me, it depends on which version of Sybil I am today. Whether I'm the swinging Sybil or the hitting Sybil.
Oh my gosh.
Chris is what we call by machine.
Okay. Okay.
He's just by.
Okay, so he wakes up on the hitting side of the bed or the swinging side of the bed?
Chris goes both ways.
I see. Here it is all the way through downstroke, through release, through impact, into the follow through. And that's definitely a horizontal hinging with the left wrist staying perpendicular to the ground. Man, that's hip. I mean, this ground's shaking. This is seismic over here.
Those are good.
They are good. Even Crystal. Done.
That's all I got.
That's great. You're gonna get out
We'll try and play a little bit.
Play a few holes there.
Yeah.
Jay said he might go out after 4.
Because I don't know what time
But
they're doing everything.
he's been early every day for the last few
But we
tournaments.
we were just over there doing some short game, and I was showing Chris how my short game has not been very good, and I went back to the book, and I actually went back into rhythm. I actually went through the checklist and stayed where I go wrong. Rhythm. Went to rhythm. Rhythm took me to hinging.
Yeah, 6 feet 3 yellow, and then
I went through and
7,
started
10, and
working
10,
on some short shots, and basically went right back to my horizontal hinge with a short shot, and my impact got better.
Isn't that something? It's because it's the ideal compression, isn't it? The ball does not wobble on that clip face.
When you and I talked on film, and we talked about my horizontal hinge flop. Well, I can do that now because now my hinging is so much better.
Hit that for us. We're not in the short game area, but we're talking about the flop shot, or the very high soft pitch.
Yeah, high soft pitch.
But it can be executed with a horizontal hinge. That is the left wrist staying perpendicular to the ground,
the hinge.
right? Instead of the
hinge.
right.
So there.
As opposed to the vertical hinge of the left wrist would be there, perpendicular to a wall.
If I set the club open, set my grip.
Come in. All right, standard address would be, the club face would be what? There it is. All right.
We're open.
Hang on a second. Let me come up here to the grip. Okay. So your grip is the same. You're taking your grip and fixed with the left wrist flat, level, and vertical, and the right wrist bent, level, and vertical. So that's not changing.
Right. With the face open.
With the face open. All right. Now going into your horizontal hinge, and that's going to be created not with your hands rolling, right?
No.
It's going to be created with the body pivot.
Right.
And that produces the hinge action. So you'll find that in 2G, all you book fans.
The face looks as if it's an angle. It's a horizontal because I've started with an open face.
Right.
So it looks like this.
Nice, high, soft edge. really no need then to change your pattern just because you want to hit a higher, softer shot.
No, I mean I can open this wide up. Okay.
Hit one just with that. Yeah. Yes. Alright, the club below the hands. And clearly, let's see if I can do double duty here. As we raise the hands to chest high, you can see that the blade is just give you a closing door simulation here, just back and through. The door is simply closed. And down there, the hands appear to have rolled, but they have not actually rolled. To actually roll would be a swivel. And that's a hand motion. We're talking about an arm motion here. An arm motion led by the pivot.
Around the green, you know, to create a little more run, but not necessary.
If you want to actually get to the other side of the ball, huh? And actually hit a little hook shot, hook pitch. So there you go, beautifully. Now go into the finished swivel, and that allows. Does that allow you to, you know, get a left wrist? Would you?
Like that.
Oh, that's great.
That's where home is.
Okay. So when you go in your finished swivel, does that enable you to get the feel of flighting the ball a little bit better?
Well, it's flighting, but it's also rhythm.
Rhythm.
Because if you tend to stop and follow through, it tends to get itchy. So you can just go into follow through, finish swivel, and it just allows it to keep going.
All right, and particularly if you're actually going back a bit further and actually letting the left wrist cock, you want symmetry.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's no hard and fast rules, but a little symmetry never hurt anybody. Okay, and I'll notice you're not using a whole lot of left wrist cock there.
Try not to use any.
Really?
Because it's, I mean, if I zero out, just like the first the number 3,
Okay.
go back. Now it softens it.
Well, zeroing number 3 would be putting in the lifeline or dropping into a wrist uncock, huh?
Or what I do is I overlap there, which does the same thing.
The actual putting grip then, huh?
Yeah. So I can use a putting grip, take out the number 3.
Well, 2 other great pictures of the ball that have very little, if any, particularly on Friday. There's just no reason to get that speed producer involved with these little shots around the green.
Well, and that's what hurt me a long time was having too much number 3 accumulator around the green. The ball came off too hot. So
there's an additional source of power.
You know, and when he talks about in the book about getting rid of power, number 1 is eliminate accumulators.
Right, and the velocity accumulator is the left wrist.
3, yeah. I mean, so you take 3 out, so you take that transfer roll out,
and you take out the left wrist cock, and the right arm when swinging is passive.
Yeah. So it's a pivot motion.
So it's a pivot motion delivering the left arm. It's a 1 accumulator stroke. It's the left arm only, right?
Yeah. So if I go here, cock.
It's on plane. Sure, it's on plane.
So then I can follow that.
So the power is zone 2, the power considerations, that'd be your left wrist cock and the other accumulator combinations. But the plane, that's over there in zone 3.
Oh, yeah.
And hinge action, really.
So if I take the same motion,
for all you 7th edition holders, sorry.
What?
I'm just doing a little commentary there on where hinge action is. We're just going to let that stay for our purposes in zone 3.
So if I let the wrist cock and add the 3rd accumulator.
Okay.
The same motion went twice as far.
Right. So you've mechanically produced more power.
My same rhythm, my same feel produces different.
And how about lag pressure? Same lag pressure.
Everything's the same.
Right. It's just automatic goes further.
Take out number 3, number 2, keep the same body rhythm, and just use the pivot to hit different shots. Use the face angle to alter height and trajectory. And so I'm able, when I play in events and don't get to practice as much as these guys, I can still compete because my rhythm, it hopefully doesn't change. I hopefully keep the same rhythm and then just change out different components.
Well, that's ideal. So if you've got a procedure that'll only hit the ball 10 yards because you've mechanically taken out the power, 10% error is only, what, 1 yard? That's 3 feet. That is a makeable putt.
Right.
If you, on the other hand, add, say, some wrist cock or the number 3, the turn and roll in there, well, then maybe you've got a procedure that'll hit it 30 yards.
Yeah.
And 10% error there is 3 yards. Well, that's 9 feet. Not quite as makeable.
Yeah, you look out there, and there's most of them are in the same place. You know.
Yeah.
So those were all with you know, basically one accumulator swings, and then the 3 accumulator went twice as far.
So it's a 1 accumulator swing with acquired motion. You're actually further than 2 feet back of the ball, so you're into the realm where the right forearm. We'll do that one with the right forearm again. So your right forearm level to the ground would be the limit of an acquired motion stroke, and then same thing on the other end, right forearm level to the ground. Yeah, there you go. So all that can be done. Just because you're in acquired motion doesn't mean that you have to add the wrist cock. I mean, you're acquiring something. That's why it's called acquired motion. Out of the basic motion, which is 2 feet back, 2 feet through, you're acquiring some body action. The knees start to act, the foot to action. You've got more than just the potential for an arm accumulator. You've got your hand action accumulator. So that's just turning and cocking primarily. But you don't have to do that, particularly around the greens. You would do it. Now, for pitch shots, that's different. If you start getting out into the realm of the full pitches, then you need to mechanically produce that power.
So now I'm going to go walk the line and get some free stuff.
Okay, that's a good thing. I'll join you. Free. Understood.